Are we good? Are we recording, or am I just sitting here quietly?
God damn it. You know, this is what makes it easier on the DualShock show. We have this whole thing understood.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what... Are you recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
Alright, well then go ahead and start.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the VGU.TV GamerCast. Shut up! Welcome to the VGU.TV GamerCast, the official gaming podcast of VGU.TV. I'm your host, Joshua Mobley, and my God, we have a huge cast today. We have the one, the only, the James Pungello.
Hello.
Pungelbro.
Whatever you want to call me.
Whatever.
The sponge.
We got Matt Mobley.
My audio may be a little late.
Yeah, we got Nate Hohl.
Yo.
Allan Muir.
It's a legitimate strategy.
Yep, and Nathan Gamer.
And baby makes 6.
Yeah.
Sure.
I might
Sure,
not
that sounds good.
I just love that
I
we
was
all
wondering
had
if I-
something
I
to
was
say,
wondering
and
if
Matt's was, my audio might be late.
I was wondering if my audio might be late because of Josh's delayed reaction to my woo. So I was just trying to make sure.
Okay.
I'm on the road. Listeners, I apologize for all the background noise. I'll try to kind of cut it out as much as I can.
Anyway,
Alright.
let's get this show on the road. Nothing really big came out, so we don't have anything incredibly important to talk about. We already really talked about the Xbox One, so if anyone was looking for a bunch of people ranting about the Xbox One, or the X-Bone, as a lot of people have...
You can find a
Start
rant on DualShock Show
And to this show.
and on this show.
The previous episode was...
It was an Xbox One special.
Yeah, was pretty...
And then Xbox One was DualShock's topic of the week last week, which is strange for a PlayStation podcast. But
Well, I think it's apt. We have to talk about the competition.
this is true.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. DualShock's own Tom Freeman just gave so much hate.
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, like, I've noticed, because I frequent the official PlayStation forums a lot, I've noticed a lot of people, like, I used to be into Xbox. Like, they only have 3 posts. They're obviously new. They're like, I used to be an Xbox, but after seeing the Xbox One, I'm really disappointed. I figured I'm gonna come back to PlayStation and get a PS4.
That's the way to be.
So many topics like that. I'm like, Jesus.
It is the superior machine.
Those forums are pretty cool, actually. I've been kind of addicted to them lately. But, yeah, so I guess we'll just go into what are you playing. Let me look at the list. Let's try to keep it slightly short, because there's so many of us. Like, we're going to be talking about it for an hour about what we're playing.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we do the same thing on DualShock. Alan knows. We end up. That's the part that lasts longer than the topic of the week.
Anyway, James.
Alright, we played a little bit of Fight Night Round 4. My brothers came by and we were playing, we played that. A little UFC Undisputed. We weren't very good at it because we all had forgotten the controls. So it was a lot of flailing, a lot of, one-punch knockouts because people didn't know how to raise their hands up in the air to protect themselves. Also been playing a little bit. I know, basically. We also played a little bit of, Halo 4. I played some Spartan Ops. I think I was on episode 3 or something. It's pretty fun. But like Spartan Ops is really designed to be played with more than one person. Like if you try to play it yourself, it takes forever to beat each level.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're running through a level with a lot, like in the game, if you're running through yourself, yeah, it takes a while to get through levels, but you feel like you're progressing through and there's different stuff. Here it's just, no, there's like 50,000 enemies and you gotta kill them all yourself. It's like, ugh.
I remember I played it while solo, and like it was fun, but definitely like repetitive. And then like I played it with a couple of my brothers, and it was like a completely different game. Like it was just so much more engaging, and so yeah, I can agree. It's definitely more fun to play with people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So definitely want to try to play through the rest of that. There's so much more that I haven't played. I barely touched it. But obviously I'm going to try to find other people to play with while I try to get through that. And I also played a little bit of Burnout Paradise. We just happened to pop that in. I think, you know what, we saw Fast and Furious, was it 6? We saw Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we gotta drive. So we got to Burnout Paradise. And like, well, I don't want to go like, 100 miles an hour on the road and get a real speeding ticket. So let me go home and crash the car in Burnout Paradise. So.
Fast and Furious 6 is like the first movie in that series that I've really noticed and been like,
What?
Whoa.
I think I actually want to watch this.
Oh, okay. That was it was you sounded like, it's like, that's what you sounded like.
Alright, we're on the freeway.
He's like,
We're on the road,
Yeah,
listeners!
No. But, we're coming to you. No,
coming straight to your house.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but, the reveal at the end of Fast and Furious 6, so like the reveal for the next movie,
Oh my God.
I lost it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was so
I was like,
happy.
holy
I was
Lord.
freaking out. It was great. So if you're into that movie franchise, like, you're not one of the guys like, it's just so stupid. But if you could just appreciate it because it's entertainment.
Who showed up? Was it Tyrese?
He's in the movie.
Was it
Tyrese
Ludacris?
is great.
He's in the movie too.
They're in the movie.
Was
They're
it
already
Devin
in the
Aoki?
movie. They're already in the movie. It's someone who wasn't in any of the other movies. But it's just really, it's great. The whole movie is fun, but that reveal just puts it over the top. I just was freaking out leaving the theater.
Spoiler, it's Tupac.
I have a friend who really likes that actor, and like when I told her that they would be in the next movie, she was just like, she went like crazy because she like really digs that actor, and she likes the Fast and Furious movies. So like having those two come together, it was like heaven for her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, it's happening.
It's gonna
Steve
be
Buscemi? That'd be awesome.
William H. Macy!
Gary Busey. He's like, we're gonna drive these cars! He's frequently aggressive in situations that don't call for it.
But
Norman Reedus.
But not to go into what have you been watching, but yeah, no, that's why I was playing Burnout. And we also we tried to play N64, but it didn't work. I gotta figure out why that didn't work. But we also played Aladdin on the Sega Genesis.
I had that game.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I never beat it. Like, I got as far as, like, Jafar and, like, Iago was in the thing, and, like, and then I died, and I was like, ah! Like, I threw my controller, and then I never played it again.
My older brother still knows the code to get to, like, the secret screen where you can, like, pick, like, you could do a level select and just go wherever you want.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo one is the only one I've ever played, which is a freaking phenomenal game. It's Capcom. I don't know, did Capcom do the Genesis one also, or is it somebody else?
I would assume they did, but let's take a look. I see.
Yeah, okay, so I know
I don't see Capcom. I just see Disney software. I don't see Capcom.
Well, Capcom did the Super Nintendo one, which is a freaking phenomenal platformer. But I do remember one code because my friend and I made like a little song around it, and it skips you all the way to the carpet scene where you have to pilot the carpet out of the Cave of Wonders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Genie, Jafar, Aladdin, Sultan, and like we always remembered that so we could get like halfway through the game.
Yeah, the carpet ride, the Escape from the Cave of Wonders, that whole thing was always the hardest for me to get by when I was a kid. It was Virgin Games, by the way. It was Disney and Virgin Games.
I bet you like $10. They don't exist anymore.
They became Virgin Mobile.
Everything. There's virgins everywhere.
I'm going to Wikipedia Virgin Games right now and see what happened to them, but you guys can continue. That's all I've been playing.
They became 2K. You're like, woo!
Mind blown.
Mind blown. They became like one of the biggest game companies ever. Anyway, was that all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's it. That was it. I'm just looking into the history of Virgin. Here, Virgin Interactive was a British video game publisher. It was formed as Virgin Games Ltd. in 1981. The company became larger after purchasing a label, Mastertronic, in 87. Blah, blah, blah. In 94 was renamed to Virgin Interactive. I see that the last game I see on their thing is Resident Evil Gaiden, Europe only, 2001.
Resident Evil Gaiden?
Yeah, Gaiden.
Gaiden.
Or like Gaiden.
Oh, Gaiden?
Yeah.
It's Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden!
Oh, yeah. Okay.
People that say Mario, I'm like, shut up.
Oh, yeah, I saw a video with John Leguizamo, because apparently today's the 20th anniversary of the Super Mario Brothers movie. And he sent this video to cause I guess that's some sort of convention about it or something.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, oh yeah, I was in Super Mario Brothers 20 years ago, and I played Luigi Mario.
He hates that movie though.
I saw Bob Hoskins who played Mario, and I was like, oh god.
No, Bob Hoskins is the one that hates that fucking movie. They asked him what his biggest regret was, and he said Mario.
Yeah, John Leguizamo was talking about on the set, there was a part where he accidentally broke Bob Hoskins' hand, doing a driving stunt or something. Jeez. And then his hand being a cast. But yeah.
He's like, fuck this movie. The Goombas don't look like Goombas. It's like, I don't know what's going on. There's all these reptiles and this isn't, that movie's really weird.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie was not a Mario movie, and then they were like, you know what, we gotta make a Mario movie, we gotta make Yoshi a fucking raptor, and we gotta have bombs just hanging off fungus everywhere. And then, yeah, I don't know, that movie is really weird. Anyway, I think Matt disconnected, so I'm gonna skip him. Nate, what have you been playing?
I've been playing...
Oh.
I'll just go first.
Oh. We'll I meant the other one, but you can go. I forgot.
Whatever, man. It's cool.
I forgot.
I haven't been playing much anyway, so I can keep it short. Just Cave Story this week. That's it. Otherwise, Arrested Development all day. All day.
So, yeah, I gotta watch
Wait,
that.
Arrested Development.
What? Cave
Arrested
Story?
Development. They're releasing
No, they're all up.
They just released... Yeah, they just released a fourth season 2 days ago.
They released the whole season?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay, I thought it was going to be they were going to have an episode a week or something.
No, I thought it was back on the air or something.
Or yeah, wow.
Some of those new Netflix exclusive kind of deals.
That's crazy. They put the whole season up at once.
Well, they've done it with their other ones House of Cards.
House of Cards. They're doing the same thing with 24. They could bring up a new season of that.
24.
Yeah. They're making them. Yeah, the new season. But I thought that was actually going to go to Fox. Is that just Netflix?
No, it's Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is doing this. They're taking these old Fox shows and giving them new seasons.
Netflix is. I hope what would be awesome if they did that with Firefly. That'd be amazing.
But it's never going to happen.
Everybody's creaming their pants. Oh my god. That would be cool though. But yeah, Netflix does this thing where they have original programming, kind of like what Microsoft wants to do.
Yeah.
Although I heard that the Halo TV show they announced is not only going to be on Xbox. You'll be able to watch it other places, which made me happy and made me go,
that's good.
Now I really don't need an Xbox One. It was the only thing I really cared about that they showed at the conference. It was Halo TV show. Steven Spielberg. What? That sounds cool.
I just can't wait for E3 because that really for me is going to kind of make or break the whole thing because they're supposed to show the games there. They've said it. They said we're going to show the games, and if they show the games at E3 and the games are awesome, then everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, why didn't they show these at the other conference?" So I want to see the games. It's kind of one of those that came out and said, "Yeah, we're not going to show games at this conference." And it was they didn't show any games. Well, they said they weren't going to.
Yeah, I mean,
What'd you expect?
We'll see. I mean, I can't think of, unless the games they're going to show are so incredibly mind-blowing, I don't think I'll be buying an Xbox One this year. I don't even think I'll be able to afford an Xbox One this year, even if I wanted to, because the PS4 is going to run me a lot of goddamn money. I'm not kidding when I say I'm going all out when that thing comes out. I'm going there at midnight. I'm waiting for hours in line. I'm getting the best SKU that they release. I'm getting extra controllers. I'm getting tons of launch games. And I'm taking 2 days off work because I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to sit on that couch and stool of my own.
Because I'm not going to sleep.
In a stool of my own sweat and shame, and I'm just going to play for 2 days straight. It is a dream that I've had for a long time.
That sounds like a nightmare.
That sounds epic. trying to recall Matt now.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to get
there he is.
consoles.
Here the
No longer on a bridge. My apologies. Sorry.
All right.
Anyway, other Nate, what have you been playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't playing too much myself. I've been like revisiting old games, but not old, but like older games like Skyrim and Mass Effect 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of missed the classics. I've also been playing a lot of like God of War multiplayer on PS3.
I still need to pick that up.
And what else?
Nate, all I know is that I have to listen to like on the first like 20 minutes of this podcast again, because when I got cut, I was on the bridge and I got cut out, and I came back and you're like, oh, I was in the Mario Brothers movie like 20 years ago, and then I cut out again. I was like, here's where that was going.
I was talking about how apparently today is the 20th anniversary of the Mario Brothers movie. So, and I guess there's some sort of convention about it or something, because like John Leguizamo posted this video. It's on Polygon, and like he's talking like to all these people, like, oh, I hope you guys are having a great time. But, today's 20th anniversary. And he talks about all these like memories he had of like being in the Mario Brothers movie, but he calls it Mario Brothers.
Well, I think that's an East Coast thing. A lot of East Coast guys call Mario.
I live on the East Coast. I don't say Mario, but I do know. Some of my friends from college did say Mario. So yeah.
They're like, hey, get the back of the line. I've been waiting there for the Mario Brothers.
Mario.
Their slick back hair and their tank tops. Get out of here.
The thing that's ridiculous about that is that Mario says his own name like 1,000,000 times in every game.
It's like, it's me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
I want to play a Mario game that's like his slow dip into insanity, where you find out that Luigi never existed at all. He just has like double personalities.
Luigi's like his tired
green.
He's slowly dipping into madness. It's like
I wish I was taller and I could jump higher. Huh. And he goes all Fight Club
type. I sure do look good in green. Why don't I wear this more often?
Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Okay. Matt, the hell have you played?
Well, I play a lot of Red Dead Redemption. I finally got out of Mexico. Josh, you know that Mexico is just a pain in the ass in that game.
Viva la Revolucion.
We were talking about it on DualShock as well, that Mexico is just kind of boring. It's the most boring part of that game.
The end of Mexico was amazing, but yeah.
The end of Mexico is kind of cool, but like, because, you're finally catching the guys that you've been set out to do. I think if Bill Williamson hadn't like fled to Mexico in the first act, it would have felt better, because like, at least you felt like you did something.
I felt like, I know this is so random to bring up like almost 3 years after the fucking game came out, but I think it's just because they wanted to do something with the Mexican Revolution. I think that's really it. Yeah. Because Mexico was a huge...
we were talking about this...
Huh?
We were talking about this on DualShock. We were saying that that the Mexico chapter, we don't care about any of the characters, except for Landon Ricketts.
You're just saying that because you're white.
No, like Santa's boring, Abraham Reyes is boring, Luis is alright, and Landon Ricketts is awesome, but like...
Alright?
Luis is just alright. Like, she's kinda cool. It's a shame what happens to her, but But now I'm in the best part of that game, which is, Blackwater and tall trees, so... I'm trying to get like 100% before I actually like beat the game, because as far as I can get, because I know there's one particular until after the end. Yeah.
No, you like cut out for a second. It's just complete silence,
and then particular. just keep talking.
Yes. Alan and Tom and I played some GTA 4 online for a VGU plays.
No.
Where we just
tried to. That was a fucking debacle.
There was a lot of shit going on in there. Like Alan tried to run away. Tom was going on a murder spree. Alan tried to run away in a speedboat, and Tom grabbed a helicopter. We both went in, and instead of, trying to shoot at him, he was like, "Kamikaze!" and he crashed the helicopter into the water.
That'll show that water.
Fuck that water.
So,
What did it ever do for us?
I love that your characters can't swim in a lot of those games. I don't know about GTA 4. I haven't played it in a while.
You can.
I can swim.
I think you can
GTA.
swim in that one. But weren't there earlier GTA games where you couldn't swim?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I love it when they have these guys who can do all this crazy stuff, but they can't swim.
The only
They're like, oh shit, a foot of water.
the only characters in the PS2 era that couldn't swim were all white. The ones that could were over black.
Mm.
Right
Racist.
Racists. I'm white. I can swim.
Yeah.
I'm offended by that.
He's
Can
like,
you jump?
"Can you, James?"
Rockstar.
I can't jump though. I can't jump.
That's
Alan and I played You Don't Know Jack,
Jack.
and I stomped his ass.
I don't really.
Trivial Pursuit.
I don't really want to talk about that.
I think that's all that I've been playing. That I can remember off the top of my head. I don't have my list in front of me, so
Good enough.
yeah.
All right. I think Alan's the last one, unless I missed Alan talking. Alan?
Yeah.
Resident Evil Revelations. I've been working on that review.
Well, first,
Both game I'm reviewing.
I'm watching a video of Resident Evil Gaiden, and no wonder they haven't gotten any work since this game looks terrible.
You still have Virgin Interactive.
I mean, you're playing as Barry, and it's on the Game Boy Color, and they're trying to do
Yeah,
They're-
and Leon. It's Leon and Barry.
it's just
It
awful.
didn't even get a worldwide release. I think it just said it was Europe only.
Because they saw it, and
It was awful.
they were like, fuck a bunch of that.
Yeah, no one's buying this outside of Europe. They're not
Like
even
the
buying
ending
it
is
inside
supposed
of Europe.
to be that Leon gets infected.
Excuse me?
Spoilers.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
he-
I love that we
he-
can't understand a word that Matt's saying, so he says spoilers after. It's like, not really, because we didn't get any of that.
I said that at the end of Resident Evil Gaiden, Leon gets infected. He's got a cut that oozes green blood. So spoilers.
Okay.
Yet he comes back, and they're like, I thought you were dead. And he's like, I was.
He's like,
Just like the dog in Call of Duty.
Just like
It's
Balto.
like the dog in Call of Duty.
We were discussing a picture. I saw a GIF of the Xbox One conference where they moved the dog's jaw down, and it said only one jaw dropped at the Xbox One conference.
Yeah.
Oh. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, go on.
Wow.
Okay.
Right,
Even
let's-
in a podcast that's not our own, I step on Alan's toes when he tries to talk.
Yeah, so aside from those games that Matt mentioned, I played and beat Max Payne 3 in 2 sittings.
Okay.
And because I wanted to find something I wanted to find another shooter. So
Not because it wasn't challenging, it was just that good.
yeah, somehow I ended up with Binary Domain.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that. Was it any good?
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. It feels like Terminator.
Terminator.
Because you're fighting these robots, and they're these robots who think they're human.
Oh, there it goes. So you're fighting a bunch of robots, basically?
Yeah, and it's totally Japanese, and I don't even think it was made by Japan.
So it's Japanese without being Japanese, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Japanese government made this thing.
they've got this guy who's essentially a Coal Train ripoff called Big Bo.
Big Bo. Jesus Christ.
And they call him that because his full name is Botang. He's half Asian,
Oh
half
my
black.
god, dude. Half Asian, half black. I don't believe it.
Mr. Bojangles?
That's racist.
There's a song, Mr. Bojangles.
That's racist.
I'm sure he was referring to that. Sammy Davis Jr. sung it.
It's a racist song.
He can't be racist. He's black.
Racist.
Bullshit.
Dave Chappelle proved
is he black or is it
you can be racist against yourself.
It's true. You ever seen the Boondocks?
Oh my god.
Uncle Ruckus.
Jesus.
Yeah, actually, it turns
Uncle
out
Ruckus.
it was made by a Japanese team.
In Europe?
In Japan.
That sounds like the worst. Okay.
Anything else, Alan?
Well, actually, I picked up a bunch of games on Amazon. The Digital is doing a sale, so they're bundling a bunch of games. So there's like a Sonic pack. There's a BioShock dual pack.
Wait, what's in the Sonic pack?
It's basically
Who cares?
both Sonic Episode 4 games.
Okay.
And there's like...
Yeah, those
I've actually been playing a Sonic game on my phone called Sonic Dash. It's basically Temple Run, but with Sonic.
Dash. It's Temple
That's not
Run.
that great. You should get Sonic Jump. It's pretty good. It's like Doodle Jump, but with Sonic.
So that's what they're doing now. They're just...
They're taking other games, but they're putting Sonic
They're just
in.
like, let's put Sonic in there.
Actually,
Sega.
to be fair, Sonic Jump came out in Japan years before Doodle Jump came out ever. So, they just updated it for...
facto, I'm your boss.
You don't know how the Sonic Jump came into
I'm
being.
your boss.
I'm just
You
saying...
know the history of Sonic Jump? You better shut your mouth.
Sonic is a paragon of originality.
You're like... Sega, the last good game company. Good guy.
Jesus.
Sega.
Are we ready for the news?
I haven't even talked yet.
Jeez.
Wait, Josh hasn't talked yet? I thought Josh... Well, then, go ahead, Josh, go.
Go for it.
Well, since you asked so nicely,
Fuck
you dick.
Josh, start talking.
Anyway, started playing Knit Underground on my Vita, because I got it for free. Not sure how I feel about it yet. It's pretty, but it's kind of weird, and I really don't know what the point is. But, I'll stick with it for a little bit longer. And then, of course, Dota 2. Just lots and lots and lots of Dota 2. But, what I've been playing mainly lately, still really enjoying, still cannot talk enough about, Far Cry 3. God damn it. That game is so good.
Far Cry 3 is phenomenal.
Freaking... Oh yeah,
Whoa.
that's cool.
Yeah, jeez. What's going on here?
No, I think the title for this week's episode should be what WTF Matt.
That was me. I could hear it too.
It's called Dial Up Matt.
That wasn't me.
Every time he's got
That
a
ain't
talk,
me.
it's like... "Meow, meow." Anyway, Far Cry 3, freaking great game. The acting in
far
that
into
game is so phenomenal. It's nuts. Like, did you just... What did you say?
I said, how far into it are you? Have you beaten the story?
I'm close to it. I just did the mission where you're with the German guy and you have to disarm all the bombs in the drug field. So I'm pretty close, yeah.
You let me know what you think when you play, but I thought the ending was a bit of a letdown. I thought it was kind of a stupid way to end it.
I don't know how you really could end the game like this, but
I still enjoyed it. Well, they give you a choice, but the choice is just, to me, just seems kind of like BS. I didn't like the way they did it. But the rest of the game is so phenomenal, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
I think his friends are not relatable at all, but like I get where the main character is coming from a lot of the times.
Mm.
I do like the main character, Jason Brody, who you play as. Because I mean he changes over the course of the game. Because in the beginning he's like a pansy, but by the end he's just like, oh hell yeah, and he's jumping out of planes and like stabbing dudes, you know, and you're like, I'm good with this, you know.
That's true. He goes from like, oh, I can't take a human life to being like flying out of the atmosphere, like slicing guys' throats. It's ridiculous.
I love the CIA agent. The guy was like my favorite character.
Yeah.
It's like they're not selling us like this stuff for chewing gum. They're practically going to war with Uncle Sam. It's like, what? But yeah, that game's phenomenal. It's only like $20.
WTF, Matt?
Actually, I think that's Nate.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not me. I think it's Anthony G. Because like his image pops up.
Nate.
Whenever,
Oh, Nate.
yeah.
Okay.
Whenever.
Okay. All right.
Nintendo Nate.
Nintendo Nate.
Yeah.
So you've been playing Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
Obviously liking that because it's a good one.
Yeah, freaking loving it. Also loving the fact that I didn't have to pay for it because I traded some dude on Reddit for it, and I'm loving it. I traded my copy of Darksiders 1, which I already I got the digital version for free through PlayStation Plus, so I just had this extra physical copy. And then I had a Super Nintendo cartridge for Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which I never really played. And I traded him both of those for Far Cry 3, and I think I got a pretty good deal. So I've been playing Far Cry. Although I haven't played any multiplayer, no co-op, don't really plan on playing any multiplayer. Might do co-op depending on like if I think the trophies you have to get the co-op trophies, but yeah, that is a game I do really want to platinum because it's just super fun, like hunting animals and upgrading your stuff and getting the new guns and liberating all the radio towers and stuff.
Perhaps we will play it online together for a VGU plays.
Oh yes.
Oh.
That'd be great. Last thing I've been playing, I kind of dabbling, going back into Borderlands 2.
We gotta play that for VGU plays as well.
We do. We really do.
Yeah, that's the only reason I bought it.
Yeah,
I
James,
only bought it for that.
Well, we should play today. Let's play today. But,
that would be fun.
Yeah, so I played, my girlfriend wanted to play Borderlands 1, but I was like, I already platinumed it. I've beat it like 4 times. I really don't want to play Borderlands 1 like ever again in my entire life.
Yeah, seriously.
I was like,
we never even finished like the other
the DLC and shit. Yeah.
Like I finished General Knox, but we never finished the Claptrap DLC.
No, it was awesome, but yeah, we never finished it. But
Hey, Josh, call Nate again.
Okay.
I'm home, by the way. Oh, I'm all good.
Okay. Yeah, you sound a lot better.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Let me try and recall Nate. This episode's clusterfuck.
That's the new title of the episode.
That's it. This episode's a clusterfuck.
Anyway, so I was like, we could just go into Borderlands 2. There's not really a story in Borderlands 1 to begin with.
There kinda is.
Kinda is, but she was like, and I was like, I can explain the entirety of Borderlands.
Tell me just wiki it.
In a sentence. And she was like, alright. So then I explained it to her, and then we started playing Borderlands 2. But the problem is, on split screen, it's really hard to read.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I need 2 copies of this fucking game. I want to play with her, but,
Jeez.
Wow, Nate.
I don't know what's going on.
So yeah, I told you it wasn't me. Fools.
It was for a while.
Oh.
Nate, I think Nate's being like...
Nate's being a bitch!
Nate's being like, infused with the singularity, so the only thing he could say is like binary code or something.
This is 110101000001.
But it wouldn't
someone
sound like that,
translate
'cause that's English. He would just be like... See?
Oh no! It's trying to talk.
How about he's like, help me, someone, my home's being invaded. Like over here.
Take my neighbors.
Someone's hurt.
Now we're doing laughing at him.
Coming for me.
We're just laughing at him.
They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
Who found you? Who do you think? The Libyans!
It's like, of all the people he could have guessed, the Libyans was the most obvious.
Of course.
Well, I mean, Doc did tell him that he took the plutonium from the Libyans.
You know, but it's Mark.
There we go,
He
Back to the
would get
Future.
something like that. He'd be like, what?
James is like, I don't know what you're referencing. Oh, wait,
No,
there it is.
I forgot the movie. I knew that quote. I was like, I know the quote, but I don't know what it's from. And then when you said the Libyans, I was like, that sounds even more familiar. And then you said Back to the Future. I went, okay, there we go. Now I got it. They're trying so hard to talk.
It's like, please help me.
I think I can.
I can't communicate.
I can't.
Anyway, I guess it's news time, because I'm pretty much done. So, the news,
Yeah.
yeah. This news makes me sad because, there was an earlier rumor a couple weeks ago of a PS3 HD re-release of Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, which was a Wii exclusive. And that made me get so freaking excited because Tales of Symphonia was such a freaking fantastic game on the GameCube. And it was actually a PS2 game in Japan, but it didn't come to PS2 in North America, which it probably should have. But there was like a rumor that there was I think it was like a Korean rating board or something saw a rating for an HD re-release.
Nate sounds angry.
Nate.
Sorry.
I think we're gonna have to get used to Nate in this new form.
Anyway. Yeah, apparently, the series producer, the Tales, series producer came out and said, yeah, it's the 10th anniversary of this year, but we're not actually doing anything. I was like, why do you ruin my life, Tales producer? You released Tales of Symphonia. It's such a great game. Anyway, and you know what else was great about that game is it was a single player RPG, like action RPG, but if you wanted, you could have 4 people play every time you battled, and everybody got to control their own character. That's awesome. You need to build that kind of shit into games, because especially Kingdom Hearts. Can you imagine playing Kingdom Hearts and you can have 2 friends sit by you and play as Donald and Goofy during the battle? That'd be sweet, right? This one's kind of cool. Haven't watched the video yet, but there's a Grand Theft Auto 4 Iron Man mod for the PC where you can fly around and stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nate's getting excited about that Iron Man.
Robot Nate over here.
He's like, I am now 70% iron. See? I feel like C-3PO. I'm the only person that can understand this motherfucker.
Anyway, Sucker Punch scans random faces for crowds in Infamous Second Son. So apparently, developer Sucker Punch uses real-life extras to populate the city of Seattle in Infamous Second Son. Developers recruited 75 friends, family members, and professionals over 3 days to sit in front of a complex camera installment absolutely still while the lenses strobed out layers of their faces. With friends like Sucker Punch, who needs seizure medication? That is Joystick, not me. But that's pretty cool. So, real people.
That's intricate, yeah.
Real people will be in Seattle. There'll be 75 of them, but they'll be like, did Nate just die? What's going on?
75 just pissed off, upset people because it's raining. Or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Rains a lot there, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it rains a lot there.
Yeah, it's raining right now.
Yeah, and who likes rain?
I love rain.
Some people do. I like it.
Weirdos like you guys out in California.
I like looking at it if I'm inside. I don't like being in it.
I hate that it just destroys everything you want to do. Like, you want to go outside. I want to shoot some basketball.
I can still play video games.
You can't do it.
Raining.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I want to go outside. I want to do something. No, it's raining. I want to get to my car. I'm going to be all wet and nasty. Rain sucks.
Wet and nasty.
I'll tell you what else is wet and nasty.
It's the title of my autobiography.
Wet and nasty. The James Pungello story.
The most misleading title ever.
Everybody's like, whenever they like get it in a bookstore and they open the box, they immediately think it's like erotic fiction, and they just put it over there. It's like people are buying it and they're sitting in their dark room with like in their robes and there's like candles lit and they're reading this and they're like, this isn't sexy at all. This is just sad.
There's no sex in this at all.
This isn't sexy. This is just hate mail to Rain.
This is just a guy ranting about
hate mail to Rain.
Fuck Rain.
What did Rain ever do for the good of humanity? Except grow crops. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 5 Collector's Edition's detailed and priced.
Yeah.
$79.99 Special Edition includes the game, art book, blueprint map, in-game special ability boost for playable characters, stunt plane trials, bonus outfits, and additional weapons. That sounds like a lot of shit for $80.
That's a real nice steelbook.
Yeah.
Case.
It doesn't look as cool as the Grand Theft Auto 4 Special Edition was, though. It came with like this ammo box. And there was like so much stuff in it. Like even I thought about buying that shit, and I don't even like Grand Theft Auto. That's how cool that Special Edition was. But and then there's the $149.99 Collector's Edition, which includes everything already listed in the Special Edition, with the addition of a security deposit bag and logo key, cap, and classic characters from GTA Online, and unique vehicles and garage property.
I remember when I saw the classics character thing, people were freaking out. They're like, oh, we'll be able to play as like CJ or Claude or something.
It's like Nico.
Yeah.
It's funny that that's what it is.
You play as Roman. You just
come on, cousin, let us kill these people.
You're constantly like calling people, like asking if you want to go bowling and whatnot.
Come on, cousin, you want to go bowling? Get hookers. Anyway, that game comes out September 17th. You should probably pre-order those special editions now if you're gonna get that.
I wanted to, but then my loving girlfriend said, do you really have $150 to spare? And I was like, no.
No.
Just
no dogs allowed.
Can you really afford this? No.
There were so many times I wanted to go to like there were the hockey playoffs, and like every single game that was here in Washington, there were 4 of them, and I was like, I want to go, but I'm like every time I'd look at tickets and go, yeah, I don't have $250 to spare. I just don't. And it sucks. Anyway, that has nothing to do with video games. So
yeah, I know. This next piece of news is not at all surprising in any form or fashion. Just thought
Matt doesn't like the Xbox.
I should bring it up just because some people are probably wondering, yes, Call of Duty Ghosts is coming to PS4. It's like,
who gives a shit?
It might be good.
Call of Duty Ghosts looks like it's going to be really good, and there are people who play Call of Duty on the PlayStation.
You're right, James. I should really be more sensitive because at least this one has a dog.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
That dog's gonna die. Mark my words.
That dog's not gonna die. That dog is gonna have a triumphant return. Like the dog Anchorman.
No,
you're gonna think it died.
You're gonna find out that dog is God.
You're gonna find out that dog is a ghost. Oh!
You're gonna find out that you were the dog the whole time, and you were just an astral projection of like its owner.
An astral projection.
You're the ghost of the dog's owner.
Oh, you were playing. No, you were playing as. You are the dog, but the human is an avatar.
The dog at the end is like whatever the main character's name is. It'll just say like Chester. It's like Chester. Like, it's time.
Of all the names to pull out, you pull out Chester.
Yeah,
Chester.
Chester. And you look down at your hand, and it's like Back to the Future. You just start fading away, and you're like, "Woo!" And it just fades to black.
No, you know what it is? You're a dog, but you're actually a human. The dog and the human are one and the same. You're playing as an Animorph.
Call of Duty Animorph.
You just take the books, you flip the pages.
Animorphs was a terrible TV show.
It was a terrible book series.
Did you say it was a terrible book series?
He said it was an awesome book series.
I didn't like it.
Dude, I loved Animorphs when I was like, whatever, how old I was when it came out. The TV show, why? But no, the books were awesome. Anyway.
Oh, yeah?
Anyway, this news, when I read it, I'm kind of like, why are you even bothering, Square? Final Fantasy XIV's relaunch set for August 27th.
Oh, God.
With the PS3 version, which was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Who cares?
Yeah, at this point, it's like, what's the point? Like, you know, the freaking PS4 is about to come out. Why didn't you just abandon the PS3 version? Is anyone even really gonna pick this up? Like, seriously?
Well, it's the same deal with, like, you know, Dust 5.1, of course, Dust 5.4, but then they're like, oh, okay, we're just gonna port it over to PS4. But yeah, this seems like kind of a weird.
Yeah, but the thing about Dust 5.4 is, you know, it's free.
That's true. That's very true. Plus, they are, bringing it over to the PS4, so it's not like, oh, yeah, we're releasing it just for the PS3.
Yeah, they haven't officially announced a PS4 version, but I know they asked him, and he said that they asked like the games director, and he said that they're looking into putting it up because it is like a late release.
Just do Final Fantasy 15.
For fuck's sake. I know, I really hope they show that at E3, and I really hope that it's Final Fantasy versus 13. It just became 15. If you want my allegiance again, you will do that at E3.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just
Nate agrees.
Just do it.
Just do it.
It's like they don't want money. It's like they're allergic to money.
What can we do to not make money?
Nate has
they want to not make money, they should just talk to me. I could tell them how to not make money. I'm good at that.
It's called be a game journalist. Anyway, some more Square Enix news. Square Enix America CEO, Nate.
Jesus.
Nate! God damn it.
Nate, it's not working. He's trying to break through the static by just screaming.
Like, screaming as loud as he possibly can.
He's like, I can do this. I'm sure of it.
Why can't you hear me?
Square Enix America CEO leaves and joins Amazon. So, he's got that going for him.
So that's a job opening. Someone.
That's a job. Oh, I heard a word come through there.
Yeah, it's like every now and then he gets an almost word to come through the static.
Like,
trying so hard.
But we wouldn't listen.
It's like the little engine that could.
I think I
tried so hard, but you wouldn't listen.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the dog, like the Call of Duty dog, because apparently Call of Duty Ghosts has Connect voice commands on Xbox One.
Oh God!
And since you can't unplug the Xbox One, you're probably gonna be like, "Here, boy."
Do you have
what?
You have to use the voice commands, or can you?
I don't know.
I know it has to be connected.
I mean, they haven't. They were talking about like they haven't really like confirmed if you'll be able to like switch the Connect stuff off, or like if it'll just have to always be on. Like the sensor itself has to always be like with the system, but they haven't really necessarily said like, oh, you have to use the Connect stuff, you know.
That'd be kind of dumb if they made you. If you
more people would leave if they had.
Yeah, even more people would be like, nah, forget that.
Mega Man X coming to Wii U Virtual Console on May 30th. I love Mega Man X. Such a good game.
Oh yeah?
Such a great game. Like, yeah, just like getting all the pieces of the armor to become more powerful, the dashing and like kicking off walls, and like the dark nature of the story, because Mega Man X isn't the normal Mega Man universe. It's its own thing. It's like super dark dystopian world. It's freaking awesome. I love Mega Man X.
Oh yeah?
I think Nate's trying to talk about Mega Man X.
He's like, man,
Like,
I
he
really
senses that we're
love.
talking
He's
about
like,
it.
man,
No.
it's one of the Super Nintendo's best games. I really love Mega Man X.
Yep.
He gave up.
He's
trying.
like,
He's trying so hard.
GameStop stock closes down at 19%. Because there's
GameStop is, yeah.
Yeah, it says GameStop's stock, it's really hard to say those two words back to back, concludes the trading week down 19%, attributable to continuing investor concerns over Xbox One's used games market solution. The most volatile decline occurred after a report of the UK this morning claiming GameStop's margins in the pre-owned market would be affected by others taking a cut. Because this actually segues into another piece of news that apparently the used Xbox One has the ability to give developers a cut of the used games market, which not sure how they do it because everything is so freaking shrouded in mystery at this point. There's so many weird reports going around.
Well, what I heard about the whole used game thing is that basically you can bring your Xbox One game into GameStop. You can give it to them. They'll give you whatever amount of money for it. Then, if they want to sell it, they have to go into Microsoft's system, which is like Azure or something, I think is the name of it, or something like that. They go into that system. That system will wipe the game off of your personal account so that it can be sold to somebody else and they don't have to worry about that fee because of the, tying it to account. And then, basically then that sale that they could, to be able to do that, going into that system takes a cut of that profit, away and sends it to the developer or sends it to, I think, to Microsoft. And I think as little as 10% will go to GameStop on the resale.
Yeah, so they're really angry about this, apparently.
Yeah, I
just
see that, 'cause
think,
that's basically their entire,
as much as and I know people make the argument, that PC gaming's been like this for a long time, and I get that. Like Steam, if you buy a game on Steam, you have it for life. You can't really sell it back or anything. But the thing is, PC games are also a lot cheaper than console games, and it's kind of a different crowd in some respects. Like PC people are really passionate about playing their games on PC and upgrading their hardware and doing all that stuff. It's fine. It's a different audience. But console people are kind of I just want to put the game in and play. I don't want to have to worry about if my graphics drivers are up to date or anything like that. They just want a machine that plays freaking games. And sometimes your friends don't all buy the same games. Some of your friends are poorer than others, so maybe you let them borrow a game, or you swap a game for a month or so, or you go to their house, bring a fighting game that just came out that nobody else has. It's I'm gonna bring over Injustice. You can't do that now with Xbox.
Yeah,
if your friend doesn't have internet, you're out of luck. You can't sign into your account. You can't play the freaking game. So it's just anti-consumer to me. It just doesn't feel like the way it should be. I don't know. It's like they don't. It's like they just want you to pay more money.
Yeah, I feel like as much as Microsoft is trying to skirt around the fact that it's going to be more inconvenient for us, the fact remains it's still going to be more inconvenient for us.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's annoying because right now I went, I had Injustice Gods Among Us, and I lent it to a friend so that he and his brothers could try it out. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I won't be able to do that with the Xbox One games, and that's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous. I agree. And and I love how they were it's not always online, but you have to check in every 24 hours.
I don't know what
that
the
just
hell
seems like a
is
pain
that?
in the ass.
I'm what? I'm
I
okay.
don't need to check into the internet. Every
Dude, I sign into PSN
understand.
every day, but also think about it this way: what if the same PSN debacle happens to Microsoft? No one's gonna be able to play their games.
Yeah, they can at least when the PSN outage happened, you could still play your games.
Yeah, I could still like work on the tower in Mortal Kombat, and I could still play Portal 2 because it happened like the day after those came out.
Yeah, I managed to get the Infamous Platinum while I was during the outage.
Yeah, I got the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions Platinum, which was, God, that game is really good, but that Platinum's a bitch. It's so hard. Like, I
thought about doing it, and then I was like, no.
It takes a long time. You basically theoretically have to beat the game like 5 times. And it's like,
Jeez.
because you have to get all the collectibles. There's like hundreds of collectibles. You have to get all the costumes. You have to do a bunch of weird stuff, and then, like beat the game on the hardest difficulty, get all the power-ups. Like, it gets really hard, but, I mean, I did it, and I'm glad I did it, cause, I mean, that game is really, really good, although I heard the time one wasn't as good. Which upset me, cause I thought Shattered Dimensions was like the best Spider-Man game since the PS1 N64.
Shattered Dimensions was a very, very good game.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I never got around to finishing it. I bought it, but I never finished it.
It's really fun. I really like that game.
The Amazing Spider-Man ones were the lamest levels, but.
Yeah, I mean, they're still fun, but they were the lamest ones. I liked the Spider-Man 2033 missions the best.
Those ones were good. I liked Spider-Man Noir.
Noir was also really awesome. I loved that. They were more like stealth missions, too.
Yeah.
I did like how each Spider-Man wasn't just like a costume. It was like every single one had a different thing to it.
There was a very different feel to each Spider-Man.
Yeah, Symbiote Spider-Man was also really fun because it was just racking up hundreds of hit combos and stuff because you're just stretching all over the place, you know? Yeah, that game is really cool, listeners. I bet that game's like $10 now. If you haven't played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, I highly recommend it. Really, really fun game.
Lots of fun.
Also, this doesn't surprise me, and it really won't piss Xbox people off that much because every single Xbox since the first one has been like this. The Xbox One will be region locked. Not really surprised. PS3 is not region locked, which I think's cool, but I don't import, because they don't want you to import games for some reason. God knows why.
Lame.
I know, isn't it?
Sony, I know that I'm pretty sure the PS1 wasn't. PS2, I am fairly certain that it was region locked. But I know for a fact the PS3's not, because a lot of people, the trophy lists for certain games are different depending on the region. So some people will import games from like Europe and Japan so they can get the platinum trophies for like a single game multiple times. Like I know some people did Dark Souls. I think there's like 5 different, or Demon Souls. I think there's like 5 different Demon Souls trophy lists from all the different regions. And if you import them all, you can get all those trophies like 5 times. So people will do that. And I think that's cool. Like, if you want to do that, you know, more power to you. I know when Final Fantasy always comes out, people import the hell out of it, even though they don't really know. They have to read, like, translation guides to play it. But they can play it. They don't have to have a Japanese PS3 or anything. They don't have to have a freeloader, which is a software that lets you use, which people used on PS2 and GameCube and stuff, so they could play Japanese games. You don't need to have a PS3, you just pop it in and it works. So I'm pretty sure the PS4 will also not be region locked, which I appreciate even though I don't use it. It's one of those things like I'm happy that it's there because I never know. Maybe one day somebody will hand me some Japanese game and I might want to pop it in and see what's up, but it's just cool, you know. It's a cool feature. But I don't know of any Xbox people that are like, I'm gonna import Final Fantasy, you know, but we'll see. And then to add to even more Xbox One confusion, report says no fee to play used Xbox One games, and that Skype powers the voice chat. I think Skype powering the voice chat is cool, but Yeah, Polygon apparently reports, citing sources familiar with the system, that the Xbox One will not require a fee to play used games. Instead, the console will perform regular online checks to verify disc authenticity and ownership. Polygon sources note that used game sales will continue as Xbox One game ownership is determined by an on-disc encryption code. Once a game has been sold, traded, or otherwise activated by another console, access to the previous owner's installed content is revoked and transferred to its new owner. Microsoft's Major Nelson addressed recent speculation regarding the upcoming console's ability to play used games in a statement released earlier today, saying, quote, Xbox One is designed to support the trade-in and resale of games, Major Nelson said. Reports that our policies trade-in and resale are inaccurate or incomplete. We will disclose more information in the near future.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they can't get what I'm thinking is that used games through GameStop won't charge you a fee. That's all I can think of. I feel like because they don't want to lose GameStop, because they want GameStop to push their system. I'm fairly certain that they are going to have some system in place that when you sell a used game to GameStop, GameStop takes that license and then transfers that license to you somehow in form of a code. They'll give you a code, and then when you take it home, you won't have to pay the fee. But I have a feeling that if you sell your game, like, just on Craigslist, or to your buddy, or to something, you'll have to pay the fee. I have a feeling that's what it is. So it's basically like an elitist thing to make you go into GameStop to sell your used games, just to keep them on their payroll, basically, and to keep them happy. But I think is absurd and extremely, like, now that I think about it, it's extremely, like, anti-consumer, because if I have a game and I want to sell it, I should be able to go wherever the hell I want to sell it.
Well, the fact that you can't go to, like, eBay or something is bullshit.
You can, but you have to pay the fee, Yeah. So it's like they're practically...
How much is the fee? Like full price or something?
Yeah, full price.
Well, we don't know.
No, we don't know. They said it was full price, which I think is absurd. And it's like...
Well, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, because they have said so many conflicting things since that press conference that I don't know if they know what's
They don't even know what's in the system.
They don't even know what's going on with their own console.
Man. They're like, how much RAM does it have? They're like, I don't know.
Like, oh man.
They're like, how much does the PS4 have? Like 8 gigs? Yeah, 8 gigs. Let's go with that.
They're like, oh, that's a tough call.
It does have 8 gigs. I know that under the hood, both systems are basically pretty similar.
Batman, under the hood.
Yep. I know that Xbox is using its own proprietary CPU because it's Microsoft and they can do that shit. But I know Sony is using the x86, which developers love. Apparently, like, developers can't talk enough about how fucking easy it is to make games for the PS4, which is great because on the PS3, all developers could talk about is how fucking difficult it is to make games for the PS3. So...
Well, now it can't be that hard.
E3 is going to be so fascinating to watch.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be... Like, Nintendo is not even... First of all, Nintendo's not even there. They're having a Nintendo Direct thing instead, which is kind of smart on their part, but it sends a message to, our audience that's conflicting. Yeah. Other people can talk too. I don't need to...
I was just listening to you.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, Nintendo not being at E3 saves them a lot of money, but it sends a weird message.
Well, it is a bit of a weird message, but then again, I mean, Nintendo's conferences are always boring as shit.
They are boring.
They don't, what are they going to talk about? Like, they don't have much to talk about.
They're boring. They have no games.
They have
I have this stupid Wii. They have this Wii U that is just sitting here doing nothing because there's only 3 games that I have for it. There's really not much out there.
James is the one with the hate now.
Yeah.
I wish I could play the thing more often. I wish I could actually, but like, I have Nintendo Land, which is no fun without someone else. It really isn't. I have Mario, which I've never really been that good at the Mario games. I got to a point and then I couldn't play it anymore because I'm like, I can't beat this level. I really do suck at Mario. And I have Madden, which is like, I don't want to play Madden every day. You know?
You don't?
There's nothing else. That's all I have.
You don't?
Not Madden.
I mean,
no.
it's just surprising because, you know, I figure people want to play Madden every year. They must want to play it more frequently.
I play Madden. The thing for me with the sports games is that it's always in season. Like, when the football season starts up, I'll want to play Madden. But once the Super Bowl is over, a few weeks after that, I've gotten down from the high of football. I'm now into, you know, basketball. At that point, basketball and hockey are starting to get into
Like
their
NBA,
postseason.
2K.
So I want to play those. And then once that's over, you know, you want maybe, I mean, I guess not baseball because baseball's just, ugh. But
Baseball's
baseball hasn't been
amazing.
fun.
Yeah, baseball. Why you gotta hate on baseball?
First of all, baseball boring as shit.
No, it's
Baseball
not.
is amazing.
Baseball
If
is
you're
America's
there,
pastime.
it's fun.
Well, that could be said for any.
That's not true because
Sports,
hockey,
I can't,
basketball, football are a lot of fun to watch on TV.
I can't stand
Cannot
watching sports on
stand
TV.
to watch baseball on TV.
I can't.
If I go to the
watch
park,
them.
it's fine if you're there. But if you're watching on TV, boring as shit. Plus, baseball games, the better they've gotten graphically, the more annoying they have gotten because of the controls, all this wonky stuff. All-Star Baseball 2000, best baseball game I've ever played. Everything since then has been a downgrade. It's not fun to play. It's
really
too
disagree with
complicated.
you.
I don't like it.
Can't really disagree with you on that one because it has two Yankee broadcasters as the play-by-play.
But still, well.
But yeah,
sports, it's all in season. Like, when the actual season's going on, I want to play that sports game. When the season's not going on, I usually don't want to pick up that game. I don't want to play that. So, that's why Madden right now, not really. Do it.
I actually just really hate watching sports on TV. I have to be there. If I'm there, I'm into it. And I'm like,
I don't want sports on TV, really. I prefer to be there.
Like, when
I'm actually, like, kind of into sports, so.
Yeah, I'm not really into it at all, but if I'm there with people and, you know, we're drinking beer and, you know, eating pizza and stuff, like, it's fun. It's a good time. But I just don't, I don't know. When I watch it on TV, I'm like, oh god, I could be doing something else right now.
I think UFC is the only thing that I wouldn't want to watch in person because I feel like you get a better view of the fights from TV.
Yeah.
But I feel like any other sport, I'd want to be in the arena. I would prefer to be in the arena, if possible. But that's really fucking expensive, so I can't go to every single, you know, hockey and basketball and football game every season, you know?
Yeah. The excitement that I see from, like, my father and other people when they watch sports games is only expressed by me, like, during E3. I'm, like, yelling at the TV, like, yes, I can't believe they're making that, or something.
That is so funny because I do not get that excited. I like watching the E3 stuff. I think it's cool when I get excited for certain trailers. Like when Mass Effect 3 was shown off, I was like giddy, but I'm never as excited. Yeah, seriously. Like
exactly.
It was exactly like that.
That's
exactly what happened. No, but, in terms of like, for the most part, no, with sports, like, when, like, my team scores a goal or something in hockey, I go nuts. And it doesn't happen very often because the Rangers can't fucking score. That's why they're not in the playoffs anymore. But, yeah.
Sharks are doing good.
Sharks are, Game 7, Kings and Sharks. That's gonna be good.
Apparently yesterday's game was just phenomenal.
I didn't watch it, but I'm definitely gonna watch Game 7.
Yeah.
Anyway. So interesting piece of news that I actually just found on the PlayStation forum, which I think is kind of cool. It's just random. Apparently Sony sent a golden PS1 console to the Minecraft developer, just randomly. And he took Notch took a picture of it and put it on Twitter. It's pretty, but, people are like, why would they send this to him, you know? And I think he, like, at some point may have expressed that he really liked the PS1. But, there has been a lot of speculation lately because the exclusivity on Minecraft is running out on Microsoft pretty soon.
Oh.
Yeah, so, like, people are like, ooh, maybe Minecraft will come to, Sony consoles, and I thought about it, and I was like, man, if they put Minecraft on PS4 and Vita, Jesus Christ. Like, that would be amazing.
$1 million seller.
I know, right? It's free money for Sony at this point. Like, And I think that what this was like a goodwill gift to him to
It was
be
a
like,
bribe.
yeah, it was a bribe basically, or it was a kind of like friendly little, cause I mean, people in the game industry, like, even in other companies, like, know each other, the friends, you know, and publishers are really the only ones that really have beef with each other, but, I feel like what this was kind of just a, like, you know, goodwill gesture toward him, a bribe, if you will, or kind of just, you know, hey, like,
I say bribe very late.
we want to open up we want to open up, you know, communication with you because obviously we would love to have Minecraft on the PlayStation 4 and, you know, the Vita and all that, but whatever they do with it. But I think personally I would love to have Minecraft on my Vita. That would be freaking awesome.
Of course, people like me, you know, everybody else is like, ooh, Minecraft. And I'm like, ooh, who gives a shit?
Have you ever played it?
I hate Minecraft. So I will back Matt on this.
Well, how many of you have ever played it? Because I used to talk shit about it too, and then I actually played it, and I'm like, you know what, this is actually really fun.
Here's the thing.
I've never actually played it. I want to play it, but I'm not willing to spend like $30 for it.
Yeah, that's my thing too. I don't want to spend $30, but there is a free classic version that's not like the full version that I played. Basically, if any of you loved playing with Legos as a kid, you'll like Minecraft.
Yeah, see, I didn't like Legos.
Well, then fuck off. Go play Madden.
It's not in season. I'm so used to yelling at Matt, I almost said Matt.
Damn it, Matt!
Matt! No,
But yeah,
Josh!
It's been so long. He's out of practice.
If you loved playing with Legos and you like building, you know, cool stuff, Minecraft is totally awesome, because at first you're like, what do I build? And you build like a little hut or something, and then all of a sudden you're like, I need to build a monolith. Like a monolithic dick or like a castle or something.
You're like, you know what I need to do is, recreate the Circle of Life from The Lion King.
Dude, that video is awesome. I love that video.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then, people recreate like Columbia. Somebody recreated, I guess there's these people trying to recreate the entire world of Warcraft and Minecraft.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, and it's pretty crazy because it looks exactly like it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these people are crazy.
Yeah, someone actually made King's Landing from Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
It's too much time on your fucking hands, I tell you that much.
It's a fun game though. And it's got co-op in it, so it's like people can build together and stuff. I think it's cool. I let my girlfriend play it, and she played for 4 hours straight.
And begin.
And I kept telling her, like, you know, you wanna go do something? And she just like wouldn't respond.
See, that's exactly why I hate that game. Do you want to know why I hate this game? Do you want me to explain? I don't know if I've told you guys this story, why I hate this game.
He's like, it killed my brother.
No, basically, I went down to Florida to a friend's stepdad's like beach house or whatever, right?
Oh,
so it was for
wow.
Spring break back in college.
It was a friend of a friend of a stepdad?
It was my friend's stepdad. It wasn't that far removed. It was my friend's stepdad's place, but he just let us go down there. So I went down there with this group of guys. They were nice enough guys, but once we got down there, they didn't want to do anything. Why didn't they want to do anything? Because they were all playing Minecraft. They literally sat there with the beach right out there. It was beautiful. We're down the Florida Keys. And they all sat on their computers every day of the week playing nothing but Minecraft.
Oh, you told me this.
And they wouldn't do anything. And I was like, come on, guys, let's go outside. Let's go to the pool. Let's go. I should have called you. And I was like, I don't think I knew you guys yet. Yeah, it was before I graduated. I didn't know you guys yet. But I was like, yeah. Like, why?
Should have had the foresight.
It's like, come on, dude, we gotta build. And then they wouldn't watch March Madness with me, which pissed me off too, because I was like, be normal.
They wouldn't watch basketball!
It's March Madness, though.
Did this end with you calling them a bunch of fucking nerds?
I came very close. I think one of them thought I was gonna beat him up, like, legitimately. He was scared of me. I was never gonna touch him, but it was pretty funny, though. Anyway, but yes, that's why I hate Minecraft, because it just sucks you into this world, and no one do anything. Like, at least when I get sucked into Fallout, I still, like, answer my parents when they say it's dinner time.
Okay, so
Minecraft.
James, you sent me this article. You sent me this article.
I sent it to the chat because
PS4 joins next gen used games fiasco. The problem with this is, like, I looked at the source, like what they're talking about, and it's like Jeff Keighley saying something offhand. And, you know,
I'm just saying we don't know what Sony's doing yet. So when you damn the Xbox, we don't know what the fuck Sony's gonna do.
Fuck the Xbox.
But I have a feeling, I really have a feeling they won't. And if they do,
I have a feeling they will.
If they do, I will be upset. Like, I'm not gonna give them a pass, but I mean,
yeah. I'm just saying, the Xbox, it sucks. But we don't even know what PlayStation's planning. We don't know. They haven't discussed it yet. They don't want to talk about it. They want to just let Microsoft take the blame.
They know that it's most likely better than
Which
Microsoft.
is smart. But we don't know what they're going to do about it.
Dude, the quote is like super vague, and it's just like,
yeah. The title of this is misleading. But I think it is true that, yeah, I think Sony's going to do something about used games as well. I don't think it's just going to be Microsoft. So, don't forget.
I don't know, man.
We'll
see. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but I feel like if Sony wants to stay on the good side of gamers, they have to have seen like what the outcry was after that press conference. Like, okay, let me read you the Jeff Keighley quote. It says, "The one thing that is amazing to me right now is that we're not hearing a lot from the game publishers about what their view is on this. The console companies are becoming the bad guys, and Microsoft is getting beaten up a lot on it. Sony, I think, he speaks so weird, has been seen as this kind of white knight so far that's not going to restrict used games. Based on some of the things I'm hearing, I don't think that's entirely true because I can't see publishers allowing one system to do one thing and one to do another. But by that logic, the PS4 would have like live TV and guides and all that stupid shit, and it doesn't."
Well, then that's a different thing altogether. You're not talking about features and functionality. You're talking about restrictions on retail sales. There's a different on the way that games are managed and the way money flows. That's different.
I think if they really wanted to
I think Sony wants to be vague so that Microsoft is basically the one who comes out, takes the brunt of the punch, and then they come out and say, "Yeah, but look, ours isn't quite as shitty." And then they go, "I guess." And then you go, "Well, compared to Microsoft's, this isn't that bad."
Well, I don't think that's the case. I mean,
I think that is the case.
It could happen, but I'm going to say that it won't, because just the way that just look at the press conference and the way they presented themselves, like, the way, like, Microsoft presented themselves was, it's a cable box that happens to play games, and they didn't make a point to say, like to go after the gamers. They didn't really talk about games, and I know what you're saying, like, they weren't trying to do that at this press conference. I get it, but it sends a message. And
the only thing that was remotely interesting about that conference was Quantum Break, because and I said this on DualShock, I said, Quantum Break is the only thing that's interesting because it's Remedy, and everybody knows that I love Remedy, but it's a fair trade-off because we have Quantic Dream, so.
Yeah. But, just made me lose my train of thought. But anyway, okay, so that other first press conference that Sony had really, like, geared you up. It was, and it kind of sent the attitude like, of course it fucking plays Netflix, who cares? Like, that's not what I care about, really. If the PS4 didn't really play Netflix, I'd find a way to live with it. It's like, I have a PS3 still. Like, almost every single other device in the entire world now plays Netflix.
Well, yeah, I don't play Netflix on my Xbox. I play it on my laptop.
It's not a big deal for me. And also I don't watch TV, so I don't really give a shit about, like, a TV guide on my game console.
Because that was such an innovative, development. Oh my god, because I've never had, cable, so I could go to the TV guide channel.
But
the TV guide channel, how old is that? What are you talking about?
Still
That's so old.
Guide channel? You just press the button now. You just press the guide button.
I'm talking about like
channel.
in
Not
cable.
if you have basic cable.
Yeah, if you have basic
If you have
cable.
basic cable, you're a fucking loser.
Jeez. So much hate.
A
Jeez.
lot of people that can't afford, like, you know.
I'm kidding, jeez.
But anyway,
God.
no, I just the way that Sony has been really presenting the PlayStation 4, I really cannot see them coming out and restricting used game sales. I just can't. It doesn't seem like the message they want to send at all. And I mean, if they did, part of me wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be happy. You know? But I mean, we'll see. It really doesn't matter for me too much anyway, because when the PS4 comes out, I kind of plan on just going all digital. So, I'm not really concerned too much, you know? But at the same time, it's kind of annoying just in case, you know, I want to go buy a used game. So, I don't know. I don't know at this point. But I would say, I would put my eggs in the basket that they won't do it. Based on the way that people received it. You know, received that news. And the outcry of people that were so fucking angry. You know?
Well, I do think, especially with the way that they have Microsoft's system sends money also back to the developers and the publishers. I think the developers and publishers have been working with both Sony and Microsoft on trying to deal with getting rid of, you know, the used game market. Basically, that's basically what they want to do, is get rid of it. So I kind of feel like they wouldn't have gone to Microsoft only to figure this out.
Let's be honest with ourselves. It won't exist forever. Like, the used game market's gonna go away. It's not gonna be tomorrow. It's not gonna be, probably not gonna be 10 years from now, but in 20 years, I don't see us ever buying physical games ever again.
Well,
it's just a fact. Like, it's gonna happen.
Well, that's true, but they want to get rid of it for the now because they didn't want this next generation to also have being sapped away, you know, funds being sapped away from them. And I think the game publishers, like, EA didn't want to get the press of being the company that came out with a countermeasure for their games. So instead, they get to pull away their online passes, and they went to Microsoft and said, "Hey, Microsoft, how about on your end, you guys help us fix this?" And they went, "Yeah, sure, why not? As long as we get a cut of the used game sales that you guys are going to be getting too." And they went to Sony and probably said the same fucking thing and probably got the same stuff, but Sony's like, "Yeah, but we're not going to talk about it right now."
Yeah, there are still a couple things, like the backwards compatibility. They said that it's not supported, which honestly didn't surprise me. I know, like, there wasn't a huge outcry about it, but I know some people were upset because they're like, I can't play, like, my PS3 games on it. But it's kind of like, you have to understand it from this perspective. The PS3 architecture was completely designed from the ground up, which I think was a terrible idea, but they did it anyway, on cell architecture. And now that it's designed through PC parts, you can't really make it work. You know, you'd pretty much have to make the console extremely expensive, like the PS3 originally was, because it pretty much had all that tech in it to play PS1 and PS2 games. And I just don't, you know, they're not going to do it that way because, first of all, they have Gaikai. They're trying to make people kind of go digital, and they're going to want you to stream stuff. Right. I don't see them letting you play PS3 games on there just because of the way that the PlayStation 3 architecture is created, or the way the PlayStation 3 cell processor works and stuff. It's not going to work. And I know that they know that the PS3, the beginning was a mistake. Like, the way they handled it was a mistake.
They learned from those mistakes.
Yeah, they you know they learned from that mistake. Like, the whole, it's $600, but it's a PlayStation, you're gonna buy it anyway. You know, that whole thing. They prove that is not true. You know? So, and I mean, the PS3 made some pretty great strides near the end, and it's like toe-to-toe with Xbox sales worldwide now, which I think is pretty, and it's outshipped the Xbox 360 worldwide by a small margin, which I think is pretty fascinating. But once again, yeah, that's shipped, not, you know, sold, but, you know, whatever. It's logistics. Anyway,
But they're basically neck and neck is what you need.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, the PS2, freaking conquered the last generation. It was like, you couldn't even get close to it, you know? It's, and then when PS3 came out, it was like, you know, not as much. But I have a feeling that if Sony actually sticks to their guns and they are the white knight of this situation, like, there's not going to be any stopping them. Like, the PS4 is going to be a freaking rampaging, did I say PS4?
Yeah. I think that's what you said, yeah.
In my head, I felt like I said PS3, but the PS4 will be a rampaging success. If they don't restrict used games, and, you know, they already said they don't have an always online thing. You don't have to check in or anything like that. So I don't know how they're going to restrict used games if they're not going to make you be online all the time or check in, because Shuhei Yoshida even told IGN that it wasn't even a thought in their mind to have always online because you're cutting out tons of countries that don't have robust internet connections.
Exactly. Take a leaf out of Sony's book, Adam Moore.
Yeah. Anyway.
The silence after that was just great.
It's like, okay, whatever. But, maybe we should finish up the news.
Make fun of
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so, there were some rumors going around that the PS4 wouldn't be coming out in Europe, until 2014, like early 2014, which would be really bad because Europe is the #1 region for the PlayStation. Turns out that it is actually going to come out in 2013. It will be probably coming out simultaneously, if not a few days after the North American and Japanese release. Which is good. It's a good thing for all our European friends. Which means they won't have to wait, you know, to get their hands on the PS4. Yeah, that's really all there is to that. And then a game that I know Matt and Allan are very excited about, as well as I am. Nate, G probably would be if he was here. Payday 2 coming out in August.
I'm excited too.
That game's gonna be rad, man. That game's gonna be fun. I think Payday 1 had a lot of problems. It's really fun. I mean, it has some fun qualities. But it does have a lot of issues, and I think that Payday 2 is really going to solve those issues. And
what you could do is re-download Payday the Highest for VGU play.
Yeah, well, I mean, I need to.
Yeah, Payday 2 just sounds like what Payday 1 should have been.
Yeah, like just the way they fixed the class system, the way they fixed the upgrades, and everything just looks way better. You know, it's just it looks like a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I hope that when I play it, it's much better than Payday 1 was, you know. Cause like, when you play Left 4 Dead 2, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's worse than Left 4 Dead 1. I really loved Left 4 Dead 1. I thought it had perfect balance, but when Left 4 Dead 2 came along, it got too ridiculous. Like, there were way too many special infected coming at you at once, and it was just ridiculously hard.
Yeah, really the only thing I liked about Left 4 Dead 2 was like the melee weapons. Like, if they just put those into Left 4 Dead 1, like that's all I really needed.
Yeah, they should have just supported Left 4 Dead 1 and kept it that way, cause I thought it was perfect. Like, the way it was balanced was just absolutely perfect, but.
Well, if Valve is any indicator, you know, if the history of Valve is any indicator, you'll never see a Left 4 Dead 3, so no problem.
Yeah.
Well, they still support Left 4 Dead 2,
but you won't see Left 4 Dead 3.
I don't care. I mean, they could.
They're incapable of making a game with a 3.
Literally, they could just support Left 4 Dead 2 for the rest of the time and it'd be fine. Because, I mean, they added like the workshop so people can have mods. People still make levels and campaigns, so it's like, you never really run out of original content to play. You know, people are always making new ridiculous levels. Like, there's one where you're in China and you have to like scale the Great Wall and shit, and it's like 5 parts, and it's really, really popular on the workshop. And there's always people are always going to be making cool stuff like that. There's still
if it's an Xbox exclusive, I'd love to play Left 4 Dead, or PC and Xbox exclusive. I'd love to play Left 4 Dead for be a part of that as a VGU place.
Yeah, we wanted to do Left 4 Dead 2 at some point. We'd have to find a lot of people to do that. But yeah.
I don't have Left 4 Dead 2. I'd have to buy it.
It's really cheap.
Yeah.
PC version's much better though. You get all the DLC for free. So. And anything
but my
like
PC's awful for gaming though. I didn't buy it for gaming, so it's not
Yeah.
very well.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sony considers splitting the company after proposed IPO. Now, hang on and think about this for a second. Their highest stockholder, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he owns 6% of Sony stock, accounting for $1.1 billion worth of stock in Sony.
Quite a bit of stock.
Oh yes, quite a bit. He has gone before, he sent a letter to Kaz Hirai, the CEO, and said that they should disband and sell off the entertainment division of Sony. Now, what the entertainment division of Sony encompasses is basically like Columbia TriStar, all of their movie stuff. I know PlayStation, I think PlayStation's part of it, but it's kind of its own thing. Like it's its own really like thing, but it also includes all their music businesses. And they think that they can like really save the company and get a lot of money back into it if they can disband and get rid of the entertainment division. And he was calling for that. He's one of the largest stockholders, so his voice has a lot of sway within that company.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, after he sent that letter, Kaz Hirai and the other, a lot of the other people are really highly considering doing that. Getting rid of music, getting rid of movies. Highly doubt they'll get rid of the PlayStation at all because, let's face it, it's one of their more profitable enterprises at this point. And
yeah, wasn't it the only division making the money for a little while there? Something like that?
Wow, yeah. But they've been cutting a lot of fat off of that company. Like they sold that one money for like $1 billion. Or they sold that one building for like $1 billion. And, they did some other stuff. They gave back like, all the higher ups gave back their bonuses to help. And they had their first profitable quarter since 2008. So they're doing some good things. Now I really think they should sell off the film and music businesses because I think it would make them a lot of money. Also, for all you comic book fans out there, it gives Disney the chance to buy Spider-Man away from Sony, and then we'd have Spider-Man in the Avengers too.
That's true.
That's one reason
those guys only gave away their bonuses because they had to. Because once Kaz Hirai does it, the rest of them kind of have to.
Once good guy Kaz Hirai does it, they have to.
Like there's one fucking guy. He's like, actually, my wife is having another baby, and we could really use the money. We really need this bonus. And Kaz Hirai's like, give back your bonus. Don't be an asshole.
Give back your bonus. You already make enough goddamn money. But, yeah, I think they really should. It would probably do a lot for them. I think they really should just focus on PlayStation and electronics right now. Like, I don't know how much their music and film properties are really bringing in, like, money-wise. I know Spider-Man brought them in quite a bit of money, but that's one movie, I don't know. I think it'll probably happen, but I don't see the PlayStation firm going anywhere. If anything, they will disband the entertainment arm and then recreate it like a PlayStation arm. Like PlayStation won't be a part of, Sony Entertainment or whatever whatever they call it, like SCEA, like Sony Computer Entertainment of America or whatever. It would probably just be like Sony PlayStation something. I don't know. I think that would be the smartest thing to do. Because no way they're gonna just like, oh, PlayStation's over, like right when they put all this money into making a new console and like securing all these IPs. They won't do that. No opinions?
Or they could just call it SPPE. Sony PlayStation Phones Earth.
Okay. Well, that's it for the news. It's time for our questions. Do any of you guys have any questions that you managed to scrounge up from the interwebs? I'll take that as a no. I'll take the complete silence as a no. But we have a question from superfan Albert. He says, why do you think Microsoft focused so much on TV, and how many gamers do you think they turned off and lost because of it?
Turned me off.
But you're not even a fan of Xbox.
I used to be.
They
could have redeemed themselves. There was a possibility that they might have been able to redeem themselves, but no, they didn't, because they're terrible. They're horrible people.
They're like, the next Xbox is the PlayStation 4, and then Kazurai comes out on stage in slow motion, shakes Don Matrix's hand, and everybody's like, the unified future that we all dreamed. No. Anyway, I think they lost a lot of their audience, actually. I know they didn't lose their normal, like, Call of Duty Madden audience, mostly, but I think that...
the Bro Army was I think, actually...
The Bromy?
Yeah, the Bromy probably just got larger.
Probably because they're like, oh man, now I can watch, Madden and look at my fantasy stuff and watch Madagascar and switch between them instantly or some stupid shit. I don't know what their bro people are watching these days.
Well, I'm sorry, I had to step away for a second. Are we talking about the question that we got from Albert?
We're talking about the Dude Bro Army.
Okay.
They're saying, how many gamers do you think Microsoft lost because of their recent press conference?
Well, I think, and my opinion is that gamers are very fickle. We like to make our snap judgments as soon as we see something. So I think a lot of gamers looked at that and went, absolutely not, it's not for me, blah, blah, blah. And then I think when E3 rolls around, they're going to show games, and then they're going to go, well, this actually looks pretty cool. And I think they're going to gain a lot of people back.
That exact voice.
So,
this could be pretty cool.
So I do think a lot of their core audience wasn't really dissuaded by that because they kind of know that the games are coming anyway. We know we're going to get our Halos. We know we're going to get our Gears of War. We understand. And we know that the Xbox is definitely a lot about entertainment. And there's other things that the Xbox does. That's what they wanted to highlight. I think at E3 you're going to actually see the games from it. And I think they understand that. I think a lot of the reactionary stuff came from people who didn't understand that this press conference wasn't about games. So if they didn't get that, then right off the bat. And I think it's because, once again, as I said, gamers are very fickle, and they're going to come back just as easily as they left. So I don't think I think by the time these consoles are released, it won't really matter.
That's why I'm saying,
for this instant right now, I think a lot of people are kind of like, well, that was gay, that was stupid, and then they're going to run off to PlayStation, to the PlayStation boards and be like, I'm going to be a PlayStation guy now. And then you're going to see within a month, they're going to be back to Xbox. So I don't really think it was that big of a deal.
I know that once cause I used to be a huge Nintendo fanboy, like back when the GameCube was, their console, their last great console, in my opinion. Discounting handhelds. I was all over the Nintendo forums, and man, when the Wii got announced and they showed the remote off, there was a huge exodus. I'm sure a lot of those people probably bought a Wii at some point, but lots of those people were like, fuck that, I'm gonna get an Xbox. It was crazy how many people, left.
I do think there was a much more dynamic shift between the GameCube and the Wii, and between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. I think people are overblowing things that they haven't even seen the games yet. They have no idea. Like the Wii, they actually knew that, yes, they're clearly not going for graphics, and they're going with motion controls instead of a regular controller. So there were these huge dynamic shifts that I think people left Nintendo and didn't come back because of that. I don't think they're going to leave Xbox and then stay away from Xbox. Obviously, there will be people who are going to do that, but I think as soon as E3 rolls around, they're going to show the games off, and people are going to show just how fast we make our judgments of things.
So the staff decision was fair. I mean, we buy game consoles to play games. So it's like I said with the other day. I said that remember when in the PS4 conference when Square Enix came out and said, "Hey, we're working on something big, but we can't show you till E3, so tune in then." That was the entire Xbox One conference.
Well, it wasn't really.
So they're going to show the gamers the stuff at the gamers conference.
Yeah, it wasn't really a conference.
And they're going to show,
but more of a reveal than anything else.
Let's think back though to E3 2005, I believe, when they showed the 360 and the PS3 for the first time. And if you watched, I remember that press conference vividly because like that's when I really, really, really got into gaming, and I was so freaking hyped for the Xbox 360. I watched that press conference probably like 10 fucking times. And if you listen to the message they like kind of sent at that press conference, it was a very gamer-centric message. And then watch the Xbox One conference.
Yeah.
And
well, first of all, that was E3, which is where they already said they're going to show the games off more at E3. So I can imagine their press conference at E3, especially because of the fact they showed all the entertainment stuff here. I can imagine their E3 press conference to be very gamer-centric. So, and secondly, Xbox, I think, has kind of changed a little bit of its focus. I think Microsoft kind of, wants to be more of the all-around entertainment console, and they're not afraid to say we want to be the all-around entertainment console. I think PlayStation is basically saying, no, we want to just be a gaming console, even though they have a lot of stuff that is not gaming. They have a lot of functionality that isn't gaming, but they don't want to, put that right in the forefront. And you know what? To be honest, the fans out there or the people out there who are going to be the consumers who are going to be buying things that care more about entertainment outweigh the people who are just hardcore gamers who are like, well, I was upset because at the press conference they didn't show enough games. So it's not, they're turning their back on gamers. That's not the average consumer that's saying that.
Yeah.
The average consumer didn't even see that press conference. The average consumer isn't going to care about E3. So, yeah.
No.
To answer his question immediately, I think that they did it because they want to show off the entertainment features of the Xbox. They want to try to get a few of the people who they know that they're looking for, which is more of the, just kind of like, hey, check out, you can do fantasy sports, and you can do Call of Duty, and you can do television, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to bring that up. Plus, I think they kind of wanted to exercise that from the E3 conference to say, all right, we already talked about that. Now we can just kind of focus on that being a gaming thing without sacrificing the fact that we still are a company that wants to put forth entertainment stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in terms of their audience that they lost, I think the people that they lost, I think they did lose a good amount of people, but I think those people are fickle enough that they're going to come right back once they see the games. So I don't think it's significant.
I mean, we'll see. E3 is going to be like the Super Nintendo Genesis era all over again. It's going to be a freaking bloodbath. To be honest, I really don't see Microsoft. I feel like so Microsoft always goes first. I think Nintendo is technically going first because they're doing Nintendo Direct, but whatever. Anyway.
But yeah, that's not really.
They're their own really like kind of thing. And I still think Microsoft's really becoming its own thing. But Microsoft's gonna go first. They're probably gonna show a lot of third-party games. And then they'll show, games that are gonna be on PS4 also, but they'll the games that probably won't be at the Sony press conference, but, whatever. Like Splinter Cell, when they showed it on the Xbox, it's also a PS3 game, but, they showed it on the Xbox because they wanted to show off Kinect, which I forgot that game existed. That game looks freaking awesome. They're gonna show stuff like that. And then maybe they'll show, couple of exclusive. Maybe they'll show what's the I almost called it Quantum Leap. Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
Oh my god.
Quantum Leap, the video game.
It's happening.
Yeah, they're gonna show, maybe some more Quantum Break, which I'm still really confused about because it was like a live action TV show and a game or some shit. I don't know. Although, you know, Alan Wake did have some live action segments in it.
Yeah.
Now that I remember it. He had all those TV interviews and stuff. They were all live action.
Not to mention the Bright Falls prequel series.
Yeah. Bright Falls, which was awesome. I love it.
It was very good.
Payday 2 apparently is getting a web series in the next couple weeks, which kind of excites me. That could be really awesome, you know. But I mean, it's they're gonna show probably that stuff. Maybe they'll talk about Netflix and stuff. I have a feeling they can't help it because Microsoft always wants to go back and talk about like the really random entertainment shit they want to talk about. They're not gonna be like games the entire time. And I just know it. I can feel it in my gut. They're not gonna do that the whole time. But granted, they will show a lot more games. And I feel like that on that Monday morning, I'm pretty sure the Sony one is Tuesday.
I'm gonna be coming over to watch it with you.
Yeah, you will. I always have people over.
We always do it every year.
Yeah, and
no, I think it's on the 10th, which is a
It's
Monday.
So it's that Monday.
Thanksgiving or Christmas. You know?
Okay, so is like Activision, EA, and Ubisoft all on Tuesday? Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Yeah. You know what? As annoying as the Ubisoft conference was, in the middle, like they showed some awesome stuff. Really hope they show. They're gonna have like Assassin's Creed 4 gameplay there. It's like, you know, it's just a fact. Like they're gonna have it, and that'll be really cool to watch because I'm pretty excited.
Press the right trigger to run.
Yep.
And X to jump.
I, for one, hope that Mr. Caffeine comes back.
Fuck Mr. Caffeine. I don't want any part of that.
I want no part of them.
Ugh. What if they bring him on for Microsoft? That'd be hilarious.
Mr. Caffeine. It's still hosted by Mr. Caffeine and Aisha Tyler.
We are trying to make the worst press conference possible.
I wonder if that guy's like career has been shattered because of that press conference. They call me Mr. Caffeine, and that's like on his resume.
Come on, it can't be any worse off than Kevin Butler.
Aww.
Kevin Butler was awesome, though.
Kevin Butler was awesome.
Dude, that friggin' speech he made when he came out. Dude, okay, like that is like... That speech encompasses just like gaming in general. Like it doesn't matter what console you play on. Like that speech is like your battle cry as far as I'm concerned. Like that was amazing. It's sad that like they can't do Kevin Butler anymore because you know they sued him, but they sued him for that tire commercial or whatever, or that Wii commercial or something.
It was horseshit.
It was a tire commercial that he was playing a Wii.
Bridgestone tires, right?
Yeah,
Bridgestone tires. And he was playing because there was a cross promotion with Bridgestone and Nintendo giving away a Wii, and he was in the background, and they said he was playing the Kevin Butler character, and that was a ton of horseshit. He was not playing the Kevin Butler
Sony has rights on his look.
Yeah, Sony has rights on his face.
They assumed that because he was playing a video game system that wasn't.
Well, it wasn't Sony, yeah.
Well, for people that... Here's the thing, though. Like, they kind of do, in a sense, like, when you sign that contract, they do have some kind of right over your image. You know, for the commercials and all that.
But it's bullshit to say that he was using the Kevin Butler character to sell
I agree.
That's
totally.
what they said.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, in their...
Certainly, but, you know...
In their mind...
Kevin Butler had become the face of PlayStation.
Yeah, and in their mind, when people...
So when they saw that face on a Nintendo commercial...
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
They kind of...
No one gave a shit.
They kind of
Except Sony. They're the only ones who cared.
I know, but it's just how it is. They're really weird about stuff.
You know what? Let's be honest. Did the PlayStation 3 and Wii ever really compete?
No.
Were they ever really competing consoles? I mean, come on.
Not really.
I mean, if it was an
The
Xbox,
only way to
I could
salvage
see,
that-
but it was a Wii.
I feel like
The only way to salvage that and keep Kevin Butler would have been if he was, like, playing the Wii, and then he, like, threw the controller behind him and was like, PlayStation's better.
Alright, enough of that kitty stuff. PlayStation time.
Bridgestone.
Time for me to play some Ridge Racer.
You can run over the Wii with a Bridgestone tire.
Wait, at E306, was it Ken Kutaragi who did the whole Ridge Racer thing, or was that Kaz Hirai?
I thought it was Kaz.
I
I think it was Kaz.
Okay.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer. I do love Kaz Hirai, though. That guy is really passionate about what he does. And he's been pushing like PlayStation since the PS1, and now he's the freaking CEO of Sony. So obviously he wants, PlayStation to succeed.
Exactly.
And I think that him being at the CEO spot is a great thing. Like and you can tell just by the way like the PS4 is setting itself up at the moment with what we know now, because I know fucking everything changes, but with what we know now, I feel like the PS4 is setting itself up for, like, greatness, just like their slogan, greatness awaits. But,
which is now DualShock's opening.
Greatness awaits?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, back to the whole E3 thing. I think Monday, Microsoft's gonna come and show all these games. Everybody's gonna be like, yo, see, the Xbox One's great and all that, and some people will probably go like, yeah, maybe I will get it, regardless of the used game thing. But then, I think Sony really has a chance to have the last word. Like, if they just come out and say, like, well, we're not going to restrict used games, and you won't always have to be online, and, like, all this other stuff, and then they just show you, like, Infamous, and they show you Killzone, and then they show you some other exclusives they haven't announced yet, and then they actually spend some time talking about the Vita for once, and they talk about how they're really open to indie gamers and all this stuff, or indie developers and all that. Dude, they'll win hands down. That's all they have to do. Don't talk about Wonderbook. Don't talk about Move. Just do that. And
they're talking about Wonderbook.
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 You get the Move. You look at the controller and things pop out of your book. It's Wonderbook.
This is completely unrelated, but I really hope that a Ni no Kuni sequel gets announced.
That'd be cool. I still have to beat Ni no Kuni. Like I never went back because I was so busy with school, but now that the summer has come upon me, I'm trying to go back and beat, like, Dishonored and trying to beat Far Cry and, playing more Borderlands. I feel like I should go back to Ni no Kuni because I only got, like, 10 hours in, even though I was loving it. I do really love that game. I need to do that.
Alan and I were saying that the only way that PlayStation could lose, the only way that Xbox could gain an advantage over PlayStation would be if they were like, oh yeah, so we did away with Xbox Live, and we were like, like a paid subscription, and I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. They make way too much money. I think Sony might announce some more subscription plans, because obviously I have a feeling that you're gonna have to be a Plus subscriber to stream games. Like, that's just a reality, Streaming games is not cheap, and you already get free games through PlayStation Plus, which is a great service. But if they don't raise the price and they give you the option of streaming games, I know some people are gonna be like, man, I gotta pay for PlayStation Plus to stream games. Doesn't mean you still can't download the fucking game, you just can't stream it. But I think if they come out and they're like, yeah, it's still $50, it's still $50 a year, you still get all the free games, you still get instant game collection, it's gonna be on PS4, you're still gonna get cloud saves, and you'll be able to stream games now. Like, just tack it on. I think that's a great way to get the service going. And if they come out and say, we still have free online multiplayer, I think that's fantastic. They know that one of their hugest strengths is that you don't have to pay for online multiplayer. I love not having to pay for online multiplayer.
Feels so great.
It feels so great because
it feels so superior.
I understand, like, there are some arguments to, like, paying for Xbox Live, like,
well, at least we don't have to worry about PSN outages, so shut the fuck up.
There's Xbox Live outages too. They don't happen as, like, crazy as the PSN one did, but I would blame I wouldn't blame the PSN. I would blame the people who were running the PSN and who were responsible for making sure that service runs and operates, at a significant way and is protected.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Did you say you didn't blame the PSN? You blamed the people running the PSN?
Yeah. Because it's not the
software's fault.
Think about it. It's not the software's fault that it got hacked, and it's kind of like a computer. A computer is only as good as what you put into it.
Well, yeah, but I don't understand that argument though. Well, of course you would. Who would blame the tech?
Some people would. They'd be like, "Oh, it was outdated." And it was like, "Yeah, but it's only outdated because the people who are supposed to be doing their fucking job and monitoring that shit didn't update it." Didn't put in the security measures to make sure that it was going to be okay, and didn't that's what I mean. I'm just saying
Jeez.
Ruining my train of thought, James.
James, damn it.
Well, you're coming out here with your stupid BS.
Jeez.
Talking about all kinds of stuff. Doesn't make any sense.
Even though I was just praising Xbox Live for the way it's handled, and you're like, "What are you talking about?"
You shut your fucking mouth.
Even though I don't.
That's not what I didn't take exception to that. I was saying who was blaming the PSN. Of course, you blame the person who's supposed to be running the thing.
I'm sure there were a lot.
They're obviously the ones at fault.
I bet you there's people that go into a store and when they see Call of Duty, they think, "Oh, Xbox made this game." You don't think that exists? I think that exists. I think that
I'm sure that exists. So. There are people who still think the Wii U is just a controller.
Hey, I gotta buy the Wii U controller. I don't need the console. I already got the console.
I already got the Wii. I got the console.
I just need the controller, man. I just want to play the game.
Are these people Italian? Like what?
Hey,
I think that's pretty offensive.
All the people who think PlayStation made God of War.
Pretty offensive.
Hey,
hey, Copernicus.
Hey, Copernicus.
Oh, the Wii U and Copernicus.
Why don't you move to the back of the line with your shoes and stand there with the shirt?
Oh, you said it wrong.
Shut the fuck up.
Why don't you go to the back of the line with your feet and stand there with your shirt?
So he was pretty close.
Oh my god. But yeah, does anyone else have any questions? I don't have any.
I
got nothing.
This has been a long podcast, hasn't it?
This has been a very long podcast. So but it always runs long when there's lots of people.
It does run long.
And it always runs long when we have E3 coming up. And you know what? Our next show we should probably just do E3 predictions.
Well, yeah, I want to talk.
Or do that and an article. We're
gonna talk about E3 stuff because we have to figure out how we're gonna cover E3, and I might not even be able to cover E3 this year, unfortunately.
We need to talk about that at the meeting, because of the news. You know what I mean?
Well, the next episode is episode 50, so.
Ooh.
A slight landmark.
That's the what anniversary is that? The gold?
Dude, there's been so many gaps in this fucking show. Our anniversary came and went, and we didn't even know. We were all just dicking around. It doesn't even matter. I hope to have this show do the show more frequently now that I have way less of a workload.
Yeah. I was actually listening to the first episode that we did.
The very first one?
Sorry, my brother came in. He's trying to talk to me without saying words, and I'm like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And
it's stop trying it. Stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
No, but I was listening to the first episode. It's so funny because it was so long ago. But yeah. And then we have we even in our iTunes feed we go
it wasn't even
from
50.
episode. We go from episode 21 to 24 to 26 to 28. We didn't like odd numbers for a while there in August of 2012. We had one that we were getting lost. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 19, 20, 21, 24, 26, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34.
Well, on the other feed.
And then 47, 48. We have so many lost episodes.
On the other feed, it's basically, there's a 3-episode gap from 44 to 47.
Yeah. It's bad. It's all bad.
Yeah. Well,
now here we are.
Here we are. Episode, whatever you want to call it.
Well, we're apparently calling it 49, so.
Sure, why not? Next one will be 50. It'll be a big blowout. Hey, we have 50 episodes. At least we say we have 50. There's not 50
that
available.
we know of.
Take us at our word.
There's 50 we think.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them, like, we numbered them, went to the next one, then Josh was like, no, this thing's corrupt. We can't even put it up. So we're like, well, that's just a lost podcast.
Yeah, basically.
Like I think number 5. Yeah, like number 5 is lost. It's gone. It's nowhere. When you're never going to hear number 5.
We lost a really good one, too.
We did lose. We lost a few.
We lost Spider Pig.
Spider Pig.
You don't remember Spider Pig?
I remember the joke from The Simpsons.
Wait, well, no. What were we calling
Dolphin Spider-Man.
Dolphin Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh man, I missed Dolphin Spider-Man. Just slamming into the side of buildings.
That was an excellent episode, and it was just a real shame that we lost it.
Yeah,
it is a shame we lost that episode, because that was a great episode.
Anyway, this has been the VGU.TV GamerCast. Subscribe to us on the iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at VGU.TV. Also, come to VGU.TV, please, for the love of God. And find us next week. We are going to do probably E3 predictions, cover some news, all that.
We're going to have everybody on the show.
Every single editor.
People. We're just going to bring in people from the streets.
All 20 people are going to be on the show.
It's going to be awful.
It's going to be legend, wait for it, dairy.
Dairy. If you're lactose intolerant, you might not like the next part because it's dairy.
Ha ha ha!
He said that in one of the episodes.
I know. The best one they ever did was when they cut the season with that, where the very end of like the season finale for one. He's like, it's gonna be legend, and yeah, it goes black. And then that was great. I love that. Think of how long in real time that was.
Yeah. Because we watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, so it's just like 5 minutes.
Yes,
yeah.
Not even 5 minutes, dude.
10 seconds. Anyway, this has been the VGU.TV GamerCast. Find us on YouTube also, by the way, because we're going to have way more videos up there pretty soon.
YouTube.com/VGU.TV official.
Yep. Peace out, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.